Hello and nice to see you. My name is Mark from Campingtrend, and in this video I will show you the advantages and disadvantages of different bicycle carriers for a van conversion. To illustrate this, I drove to the largest importer of so-called bus campers in the Netherlands, Buscamper Nederland in Culemborg. Before I can explain the advantages and disadvantages, let's first look at which bicycle carriers there are. You can roughly divide the carriers into three categories. You have carriers that you mount on the tow bar like this one. And there are carriers that are mounted to the back door like this one. And finally you have carriers that are mounted on the chassis of the motorhome. The carriers that you mount on the tow bar have a number of advantages. They are light and have a low lifting height. You can easily leave them at home when you don't need to carry your bikes. Most are suitable for e-bikes. For example, this one can carry up to 60 kilos. These types of carriers also have disadvantages. For example, when mounted you can no longer access the rear doors of the motorhome, because in most cases you store your camping gear there, such as your table, chairs and a rug, but also your gas tanks under the bed in the back, so that is quite inconvenient. Bike carriers that you see a lot are these. They are mounted on one of the rear doors of the motorhome. They are mostly made of aluminum, making them the lightest. We show one here. I hear you say, hey, that bike carrier for the tow bar is lighter. And you are right, but if you're honest you can't place it without a tow bar, and that brings extra weight. But these carriers have a number of disadvantages. To start with, they have a limited carrying capacity. For example, this goes up to 40 kilos. That is not enough for two e-bikes, even without the battery in it. In addition, the back door of the van is really not meant to carry 40 kilos extra. Over time, this will cause the door to break. Because they have to be mounted above the rear lights, the lifting height is enormous, in this case 1.5 meters. You must be a real tough guy if you can lift an e-bike here. You have to be tall anyway to be able to properly secure the bikes on these carriers. Last but not least, but that could be just me, I regularly bump my head on such a carrier. The third carrier in our comparison is this Busbiker bicycle carrier. Because this carrier is mounted on the chassis, I dare say that this is the most stable carrier. The chassis is the most sturdy part of the motorhome. For example, the wheels and the engine are also mounted on it. As a result, you can also choose a tow bar with this carrier that is approved for a towing weight of 2,000 kilos. I once had one of the predecessors of this carrier on our Odria twin van conversion. This is now an improved version of the carrier I had at the time. It is especially lighter and the carrying capacity has increased to 80 kilos. That is enough for up to 3 electric bicycles if you want to bring them with you. Another advantage of this Busbiker is the low lifting height of only 57 centimeters. If you don't want to lift at all, you can order a ramp that allows you to ride the bikes on the carrier. The carrier is rotatable, even with bicycles on it. So under all circumstances you can reach the camping gear that you have stored under your bed, or the gas tank to close or open it. What can be experienced as a disadvantage is that this carrier is permanently mounted on the motorhome, so it is not easy to leave it at home when you are not using it. The weight of the entire carrier is 57 kilos, but that is no problem at all on most van conversions. When folded, the carrier makes the bus no more than 22 centimeters longer, but even unfolded, the carrier is no deeper than 59 centimeters, which are huge advantages. That completes our comparison of the 3 most common bike carriers for the back of a van conversion. The compact carrier for the tow bar that can handle 60 kilos and limits access to the storage space. The carrier that you mount on the back door and that can handle a maximum of 40 kilos, for which you have to lift very high, and which loads the rear doors incorrectly. And finally the rotatable Busbiker that is mounted on the chassis so that you can always reach your belongings, with a low lifting height and that can handle up to 80 kilos. Because of my personal experience with the predecessor of the latter, I know which one I would choose if I now had a van conversion. If you like this video, give me that thumbs up, press subscribe if you like these kinds of videos, and with that bell, you won't miss the next video. Until the next.